Are you confused about writing? Do you not know where to start or even how to finish? Do you love writing so much that it burns deep in your soul, but you still don't know how to meet your goals? Are you looking for a little inspiration that will take you on a writer's vacation? Then let us all write together. Let us all write our way. Hello everyone, welcome to Write Our Way. I'm your host Patrick Starks. It has been so long, my friends. So much to tell, so much to catch up with you guys all on. But first, let me just say we are going to kick off 2024 with a bang. This is the new year. Happy belated New Year's, my friends. And we are going to go deeper into our writing. We're going to continue having these discussions about what it means to be a writer and the skill set it takes to actually see your books through, see your stories through to the end, so that your readers can enjoy the artistry that you've created. Now, I know this is all easier said than done. I couldn't tell you guys how to do this without telling you about, the struggles of what it's been to be a writer, especially leaving 2023. There's a lot of heartache, a lot of sadness that happened at the tail end for a lot of people that I know of, and myself included. And I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit just about, how to push through that and allowing yourself time as a writer to grieve or really mourn or, go through the emotions of what it is just to be human. Now, I won't go too much into detail about it because it still hits a soft spot for me. It's still fresh, but I did lose my father back in November, early November. He's an incredible man, incredible father. He was, without a doubt, my superhero. He was my brother's superhero. He is my mother's just rock, and losing him was probably one of the hardest experiences I've ever felt in my life. And now I'm just to the point where I'm just trying to find some ground, trying to get back into my flow of what I was doing before with my writing. It's hard, a lot of my writing came through my family. My mom is an avid reader and my dad was an avid reader, but more so a writer. And, at the tail end of it, just a few months ago, he finished his book. And, there's a part of me that felt sad, but also happy for my dad that he was able to finish his story, finish his life story. His book was about his life and what all he had to go through to become the great man he was. It was his hero's journey, without a doubt. It really dawned on me because, for a long time I've been writing stories and putting books on hold, and yet, my dad, he finished his, and my mom was just telling me and my brother, Dad was more than a dreamer, he was a dream catcher. And that's the thing, that's kind of the message that I want you guys to take with this episode, this new season 3 episode, is don't just dream, be dream catchers, and actually say what you intend on doing. But there's always steps to this, right? How do we get there? That's the question. Sure, we could watch a few motivational videos and get super motivated and, listen to some people pump us up on how important it is to do what we do. But if you've been following my podcast for a while, you know that it's so much more than motivation, right? Writing stories can be a huge barrel of emotions, and in order to write stories, we have to have control of our emotions. But when life hits us in a hard spot, it's hard to channel those emotions in a way where it benefits us. And to be honest, I'm no guru. I don't have the answer for you on that. It's all dependent on the person. It's going to be different for everybody. The one thing I can only tell you is just to feel it, feel the emotions and let them ride through. As someone told me, it's not about ignoring the past or forgetting about it, but more so embracing it and accepting what happened. If you know me personally or you've gotten a chance to know me, you can tell by now I'm a very positive guy, and I always try to look at the bright side of things. But in order to look at the bright side of things, we always have to have gratitude. And that's a number one thing that most people who are very well self-developed will tell you, is to have gratitude. You just cannot push forward without gratitude. Trust me, there's a lot of people I know out there, they like to cry about a lot of things, but have not dealt with nearly as much as other people have. Not to say that those people can't feel their emotions, it's just to say that they should be consciously aware of what other people might be dealing with that could be possibly dealing with worse, and to be open to hear their thoughts rather than hearing their voice all the time. I mean, that's one of the one things I've gotten a lot of credibility for over the years is being a good listener. I've always been a good listener. I've always been happy to hear people out because I get it. I know life's hard, and as I said, I dealt with a pretty tragic situation back in November, so it is what it is. But the main thing to this is to understand that you're not alone. It's just like your protagonist in your story. Your protagonist isn't necessarily alone. Your protagonist is going to have supporting characters that are going to be dealing with pretty harsh situations themselves. I mean, again, I'm going to tell you, we can't be so linear with our stories because it does not relate to real life. If we have our protagonist in our story where they're the only one suffering, it makes no sense. It's not relatable to real life because in real life, everyone suffers in some form or fashion. And as I've told you guys before, this is what your readers are going to be looking for. This intimate connection between the story and their life story. And when I thought about this is why I always tell people that they can be storytellers themselves. They can become authors. They can become writers, quote unquote. Because we've all dealt with some type of pain or suffering in life that we can actually implement into our stories. Therefore, that will connect to our audience. I'm going to give you guys homework. It's really important for you as a writer to not think so much about the eye candy. We're not trying to be fancy with our words or make fancy scenes for our stories. Really give it some thought on the intimacy of your hero and your villain in your story. Really think about it and think about what it means to you and what it means to deliver it to your audience. Other than what my dad showed me about catching dreams, he also showed how to live life passionately. And it's the same passion that should reflect in your stories. Just a recap on season 2, the very last episode, I even said that you can really tell how much a writer is immersed in their stories by the tone, the pace, and the emotional content that's embedded within the story. And so I'm sure all of your obvious answers would be, no, I don't want that. And you wouldn't be wrong for not wanting that, because as a writer, you don't want your readers to feel like you dread writing the story for them that you've waited so long to put out there. It just doesn't sit well. But all in all, guys, I'm going to kind of keep this episode short. I just really wanted to say hi to you all again and that I'm still here. Haven't forgot about you. I'm still rooting for all of you guys to be the successful writers I know you can be, to put out those amazing books I know you have inside your heads, and just for all of us to enjoy the journey of becoming these great writers and putting out original content. Original content that hasn't been rebooted or redone 4 or 5 times. Content that our readers can read, that can give them a new perspective, not on just storytelling, but life itself. But again, guys, I love you all so much, and I look forward to doing more of these episodes for you guys. I'm not gonna lie, it still feels different. The world feels different without my dad, but I know he's in a better place, and I know he's still with me. He's with my mom, he's with my brother, and the rest of his family, his brothers, my uncles. And I'm gonna keep doing this for not just myself, you guys, but I'm gonna keep doing this for him because he was a big believer on finishing what you start. And I'm gonna make sure that we all see that through. We're all gonna finish what we started this year. So, love you always, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I haven't said it in a long time. Become a child again. Imagine, my friends. Stay tuned for the next episode, you lovely people. See you soon.